Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It is currently almost 6 a.m. in the morning. My bad for being so late on this video. I meant to record it and like have an update on it. And I had a video for it, but it's already past the OTA. We all know what's up. I want to give my overall opinion on the OTA because I am one of the few, or actually I don't know if I'm one of the few, but I am one of the people that is really happy with the direction of this patch. I think this was something that we definitely wanted to go down for the majority of people, just because these cards are just so unfun to play against. And that's the main thing when it comes to Marvel Snap, in my opinion. You can have good cards, but I do think there needs to be a balance between fun and competitive. And I just think a few of these cards in this list were killing the fun. At least it was for me. So let's talk about it. Here's the cards. There's also a thing going on with like recurring effects that have been adjusted so you can't like over top them off. It's gonna be kind of niche, but like Invisible Woman, Wong, stuff like that, there will be like a cap, which is a good thing. I think that's a good thing they have a cap. So let's talk about it. Fing Fang Foom, probably the biggest one on the list I was looking forward to the most out of all the cards, just because I hate the idea of like a point, like a lane winner. One single card can win a lane. I think it's not very fun. Just having a big old dragon that comes down and just wrecks your whole strategy because you can't do anything about it. And he just wins the lane, and then you duplicate him. It's like, oh my god. I'm happy with this change. He's now a 7/12 that only gets the power of a front row enemy card. So, for example, if you have a Luna Snow, and she's the front or it's the Ice Cube, he has a 50-50 chance to get 6 power or 0 power. And I think that's hysterical. I love that. But I'm also probably one of the few people that did not care for this dragon. I just didn't like this dragon off release. I hate this dragon. Agony's getting nerfed down from 3 to 2. I think this is an okay change. I think she's just the best one-dropped buffer card. Because like you have your Hulkbuster, which I think is a 2-drop, which does like emerge after or already when your card is placed down. She's placed down beforehand. Her flaw is that she could get sniped by like a Killmonger. I don't know. I'm okay with this change. It makes Man Spider a little bit more harder to use. Like he'll still be able to merge into a merge, which will be nice, but he won't be as big. So I'm okay with Agony getting one shot off her power. I think it's okay. I think that's fine. Captain Marvel getting a 1 power buff, and so is Martyr. I think these two changes are kind of nice. Martyr being a 1/6 doesn't really change too much. She can still get killed by Killmonger. Captain Marvel being a 4/6 at least might make a difference. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like people will experiment there with her and see if they like her. I'm not really a big fan of RNG when it comes to units trying to win the game based off space, because you might not have the space to even move her. But I think, her ability can definitely come in clutch if you have the room on the board. We have Shalao is getting 2 changes. He's getting 2 points of power, and then he's getting shot in his passive and going from 3 to 2. Love this change. This is one of the few changes that I was actually looking forward to. I actually made a video not too long ago when I was like, what I would do for an OTA. Same thing. The only difference is they give him 2 points of power into his, power, and then shot him down to 2. Love it. I think this is a very good way to balance him out. You won't be able to get an ultra big Maverick anymore. Like, it'll still be sizable, but I don't know if it'll be big enough to want to use it with a Scarlet Spider, which is completely fine. I still think Shalaw's going to be great with Kitty Pryde. I still think Shalaw's going to be great in his niche decks that drop like low cost, 1-cost spams, but I do think it does limit him out of potentially being used with Scarlet Spider. Potentially. Depends how you like make the deck better. This gives cards like Storm, Horseman of Famine. Is she Famine? I think so. And Wolverine, Horseman of War, chance to come up and be play tested now, because now they give you a little bit more value, where Shallow is still doing his thing, but like now, maybe 5 points of power in every lane can contest with it now. Potentially. We'll see. My favorite nerf of the patch, Star-Lord, Master of the Sun. Now he's Master of the Trash Can. Love this. He's a 5/7, and he still has the same passive, except for the part where he gains power. He doesn't gain power, so Zola can go rot in a hole. You can't Zola him anymore. Well, you can for the energy if you really want to, but you're not going to be winning lanes with that anymore. which is the main thing that I really wanted them to get rid of, is gut his power gain, because Zola ruins it. If Zola wasn't not so, the way I look at it is, if Zola wasn't a card in this game, he could have stayed the same. He would have been fine the way he was. But since we have a Zola type archetype in this game, where duplicating is a thing, and then they duplicate their power even more, it was a problem. And because of that, I feel like Zola is the reason why this guy got nerfed. But they're not going to nerf Zola. There's no way to nerf Zola. I mean, there is. Change him to an active skill, kill the character completely. It'd be hilarious. But the more obvious route and the easier route to take would just to be nerf Star-Lord. And I still think he'll be played. I think he's still going to be good in some places. But this does limit how much you can use him. I do think he'll be good in Mr. Negative still. I just don't know, like, when you jack your energy up to like so much per turn, it's just like one of those things. Like, I don't like that playstyle. I don't like that you're playing the game on the last turn. Essentially, you're not really playing the game until the last turn. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan. So I don't know. Star-Lord, I don't know. I could care less if he sucks in this game or if he's good. I just don't care about him. Archangel's going from a 2-3 to a 2-4, and then he's also getting a plus, going from +4 to +5 in his power. Love this change. I think this is a really good change. I don't know if he'll be super popular still, because he is a niche type of card for his niche type of death destroy archetype, but I think this makes him slightly better. So yeah, there you guys go. There are the changes. Overall, I'm very satisfied with this OTA, and it's been a minute since I've been able to say that. Most of the OTAs have just been misses. This one actually took the time and the effort to adjust passives and problems that we've had in this game for a while, whether people like to admit it or not. Fing Fang Foom, Star-Lord, and Shallow, all three of those cards have been problems for Marvel Snap. It's been kind of killing the fun of Marvel Snap, and they have to change them. It's well past time to change these cards and try to make them work elsewhere. Now, is the Fing Fang Foom nerf a little extreme? I don't know. The fact that you could, copy an Ice Cube is really funny, but it's also frustrating because he's your 7-drop. I get that he's supposed to win your lanes. I get it. And they could make him a 7-10 that targets the highest card, or even like a 7-8 that targets the highest card in the front row. There is a world where I think he could get one more change in the future, trying to see if targeting the highest card in that lane, like front row laner, is an option. I don't know if I like it. This is more of an RNG type of thing, sure, but like, I don't really know. I don't like the idea of just like a 7-drop winning the game. Just not just winning the lane, just straight up winning the lane with no effort. At least now there's got to be like some type of strategy where you're placing him, where it's like, okay, if I drop him here, it's because they have a 8 power and an 8 power, or 7 power and an 8 power. Like, there's got to be some value in that lane, right, to make sure that he's worth it. And that you'll probably have to have set up for him to win the lane by having at least one other decent sized card in that lane to win it. So you might need like another 8 drop or something, or 8 power, or like 7 power in his lane to make sure he wins it. So it's more like a duo lane crusher than a solo lane crusher, but I prefer that. I think I prefer that over just a single card winning the lane because he's got billion power, and then he gets, more because your cards are high. So I like this. I think this is an interesting change. I do think he'll probably get changed one more time in the future if he sucks, but we'll see. Everything else I'm pretty happy with. Star-Lord, who knows? He might get another change in the future if people stop using him. I don't know if they will, or if they will or won't. Can't tell you. People just like energy spamming, and he's the best one. On Shallow being changed, I think Shallow's in a good spot now. I think he's in a relatively balanced spot. He's still strong in his niche, but he's not overly strong. He's more like a option B, or like a if you build a deck around him, you have your option A and your option B. For your win cons, here's your option B, or your option A, depending on how you look at it. He's your second win con. So I like that. I don't think he should just be like, oh, guarantee win. I like the fact that you can build a second strategy and just have him benefit that strategy. So I'm a big fan of this. So good job to Second Dinner. I think they did an outstanding job with this one, that they really do understand what's wrong with their game, or with what was wrong with the meta, and they nailed every single point. Now, I will say this. I have one concern about all of this. I feel like the Gambits are going to come back, and the end of turn decks are still going to be good. So it's going to be Gambit an end of turn probably for the most part until people figure out like what other thing is usable, which means the meta is going to probably get really toxic when it comes to destroying opponents' stuff and or cheesing with end of turn Doc Doom 99 because Doom 99 is like the best deck in the game, unfortunately. And the only thing it really contested, like really contested, is like the Gambit decks. So we'll see what happens. I do think eventually they're going to have to acknowledge the end of turn decks. I do think they'll have to acknowledge the Gambit Horseman decks. I think those are just unfun cards, like cards to play against. But now that the meta shift like this, like where you're gutting Star-Lord, you're gutting Shallow, people are going to go back to using that stuff. Which does mean it's going to be a little bit more difficult to play into those niches. So you're probably going to want to still run big things and avoid the gambits, but you also want to prep yourself for the end of turn decks. You might have to run a ghost or something to prep for those decks. We'll see. That's just kind of where I think the direction of the meta is going to go, because I don't think the Daredevil season is going to really meta change anything. I think they're going to be. I think Daredevil's going to be a fun deck. I do think it's going to be a solid deck. I don't think it's going to be ultra meta. I think it's going to be more aligned to like Phantom X, where like if you like going for that playstyle, you can play it, but it's not ultra competitive because it's not ultra reliable unless someone figures out some cracked build. We'll see. But yeah, that's my prediction. End of turns are going to still be a problem, and the Gambit, the uprise of the Gambit might be coming back. But other than that, I like these changes. I do. I hope people don't drop the cards completely. I still think they're worth using. I think you're just going to have to get a little bit more strategic with how you use them, but I still think they're going to be good. I still think Dragon Lording a Fang Foom is going to be a very strong thing to do. I still think using Kitty Pride in like whatever deck with like Shallow is going to be a very strong thing to do in that niche. I just think it's going to take away powers from other decks that have been reigning supreme a little too long, like the Scarlet Spider deck and the Star-Lord like Zola decks, which I think is completely fair. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of this change or of these changes, and what deck you plan on using in the upcoming meta. Let me know in the comments below. I'm probably going to stick with Bounce and Phantom X since I've been enjoying those two. But, you know, Affliction's still fun. It's just, I don't know where Affliction's going to be if Horseman of War Gambit comes back and wrecks your whole, like, lineup. So, we'll see. We'll see. Peace, guys. Have a good one.